Students, last class we already discussed that Bernoulli's theorem. So different application we already finished. So now today we will move to fourth application of Bernoulli's theorem. Okay, so that is a dynamic lift on airfoil. Remember, so how, okay, aeroplane will take off. Okay, how aeroplane will be lifted. So how it works we will see. So the principle behind that one is nothing but Bernoulli's principle. How, we already know students, a wing of the aeroplane will be designed in this way. Okay, the wing of the aeroplane will be, okay, this is the wing of the aeroplane. But remember students, in this particular case, okay, when air comes in this way, okay, when air comes, okay, so then air molecule will flows in this way, in this way. So in this way air molecule will comes. Okay, so in this way air molecule will comes out. Okay, so as a result students, what will happens in this particular case, okay, air molecule will comes in this way. So it means, so this is called convex surface of the wing. Okay, this is the convex surface and this is the concave surface. Below bottom surface is called concave surface. Okay, in this particular case remember students, what will happens, the air molecules will comes and it will rushes here, okay, like this. And the streamline flow will be in this way. So it means in this particular case students, air molecule will comes out very quickly, but here it takes some time in concave surface. As a result, velocity or the speed of air molecules will be very high here. So as a result, we know when velocity is more, okay, so pressure will be less. So in this particular case, when velocity is less, pressure will be more. So this is happening. Okay, so as a result, remember students, in this particular case velocity is more here, pressure will be less here. Velocity will be less, pressure will be more. As a result, what will happen, due to this large pressure, upthrust force will comes. Okay, upthrust force means a large force will comes and it will acts on the wing, and means a large force which will acts on the concave surface and it will lifts the wing. Okay, it will lift the aeroplane at a certain height. So that, okay, phenomenon, so that principle, so which is called Bernoulli's theorem. So as a result, due to this upthrust force, okay, due to this large upthrust force, okay, so what will happen, due to large pressure as well as due to large upthrust force, the aeroplane will be lifted up. So this is called students, okay, dynamic lift on aerofoil. In this way the aeroplane will be lifts up. It is just because of, okay, difference in pressure. So in concave surface the pressure will be more than that of pressure here. This is the larger pressure, this is the lesser pressure, remember. Okay, students, let me to note a few points about this. Okay, the upper surface of the wing of an aeroplane is made convex and lower surface is made concave, as we know in figure. Due to this shape, remember, due to this shape, okay, velocity of air at the top of the wing is larger. So as we know this, okay, larger Okay, larger compared to that of at the bottom. Okay, bottom surface. So this is the 2 points you must be remember. So now, as a result, what will happens? So we are written here velocity, but what about pressure? So as we know in diagram, we already know that pressure at the convex surface will be very less, then pressure at the concave surface will be more. So we have to write all these things. Okay, let me to write that. Okay, so last point of this, as a result, as a result, okay, pressure above the surface, of wing, so that surface is nothing but convex, is less compared to that of okay, pressure bottom of the wing, okay, of a wing of aeroplane. Okay, so this is the 3 points you must be remember students. Is it okay? Yeah. Then remember students, one more application we have to see. So that is nothing but atomizer. Okay, so or you can say a perfume sprayer. You already seen, okay, a different sprayer. Okay, a spray bottle will be there, so which is based on the principle of same principle. So for example, we can say in this way. So for example, if I consider so perfume bottle, okay, bottle, this is called sprayer. So it means, so for example, let me to take a spray bottle like this. Okay, once I press this, what will happens, so whatever liquid comes inside this bottle, okay, so that will comes out with a larger pressure. So here, due to pressure difference, okay, due to this pressure difference between P1 and P2, okay, so due to this pressure, what will happen, so the okay, difference in pressure, so water drops will comes out with a greater speed. So in the same way, so we can see the same phenomenon in this way. Okay, that is nothing but atomizer. So fifth one is nothing but atomizer and sprayer. Okay, so in this particular case, students remember, so this is used, okay, atomizer or sprayer is used for spraying the perfumes and paints. You already know these things in your okay daily life. Okay, how it works we will see. Okay, so diagram for this one is, so you can see this one in any book. Okay, in your NCERT book you can see the same thing here. Okay, so this is the diagram of a sprayer. So here there will be a one piston which is used to, okay, give a larger pressure. Okay, then whatever liquid is there inside this, okay, sprayer, that will comes, okay, in this particular direction with a greater speed. So remember students, in this particular, okay, as atomizer or sprayer, what will happens, so it consists a mechanical pump, okay, and air blown will be there. So once we start to press this, okay, air blown, then what will happens, whatever liquid will be there, that will be, oh, okay, so that will be, okay, yes, here somewhere, that will be spread over the pressure will be spread uniformly over the surface or volume. So then what will happens, due to this small area of the, okay, sprayer or atomizer, what will happens, so greater, okay, with greater pressure the water droplets will comes out, okay, from the nozzle. So this is called the nozzle of the, okay, nozzle of the sprayer. Okay, we will see the important point. Let me to note here. Okay, students, remember, so in atomizer and sprayer, what I explained, the same thing I written here a few points. Okay, so it is nothing but it is a mechanical pump, so which use, okay, air blown is there here. Okay, so when we, okay, apply this air blown, what will happens, so due to pressure, so the pressure will be equally distributed toward the volume of the, okay, liquid. Then what will happens, due to this less, okay, area, so then the droplets of the, okay, liquid will comes out in the form of spray. So that is I written here. Okay, so here the pressure over the nozzle of the liquid in the container rises in the tube. Okay, so this point is you have to highlight. Okay, so this is happening in atomizer, remember, isn't, is it okay, students? Okay, yeah. Then we will move to a next concept. Okay, the, that is called viscosity. Students, remember, before going to viscosity concept, so one more, okay, device is there. It is also considered as a one of the application of Bernoulli's principle. So that is very important, you may expect for 1 mark also. Okay, so that is nothing but Venturi meter. Venturi meter. What do you mean by Venturi meter? It is a one device, or we can say it is a one machine or device, you can say, which is used to measure the speed of incompressible liquid, or we can say the rate of flow of liquid. So which is used for what? To measure the speed of, okay, liquid. So what type of liquid that is? That is incompressible, okay, liquid. So that type of device is called, okay, Venturi meter. So how it will be look like, see, so Venturi meter, it looks like, so which has various area of cross section, okay, like this area of cross section, okay, like this. Okay, so in this particular case, what will happens, okay, in this particular case, okay, you can write, okay, in this way. So this is the arrangement of Venturi meter, students, remember. So what do you mean by Venturi meter? What I told, it is a device. It is a device which is used for measuring the speed of incompressible liquid and rate of flow of, okay, rate of flow of, okay, liquid through pipes. That is nothing but what? Venturi meter. At what principle it works? It based on the principle of Bernoulli's principle. Okay, so which is based on the principle of Bernoulli's principle. Okay, So they may ask for 1 mark on what principle it works. Venturimeter, which based on the principle of what? Bernoullis. Okay, how it works, students? Just try to understand, student, in this particular case. Okay, venturimeter, how it works. So for example, in this particular case, area will be more here. So according to Bernoullis principle, what it tells, pressure energy plus potential energy plus kinetic energy per unit mass remains constant. But remember, this is the one point. If I consider, this is the another point. If I consider with various what, okay, area of cross section will be there here, various cross sectional is there here, area will be very less here, area will be more here. So at that condition, remember, the pressure energy, potential energy, as well as kinetic energy will be distributed. So for example, in this way, so for example, 50% plus 30%, okay, plus 20% respectively, in this way. Okay, pressure energy will be 50%, potential energy 30%, and kinetic energy 20%. But remember, when this liquid comes, okay, when liquid will pass us through this venturi meter, so why we need this one? To measure the speed of, okay, incompressible liquid. So as a result, what will happen, student? Whatever energy is there, same ratio will you will not get here. Why? Because so total energy will remains constant, but there will be a change in the ratio. So for example, it may be, okay, a 40%, it may be again a 20%, okay, and this one may be 30%. But remember, students, so this is total 100%, this is also, okay, total, okay, 100%. But remember, students, the ratio of individual energy will be different, but total energy will not disturb here. So that will be, okay, 100%. So that is nothing but conservation of energy. So that is, it tells, okay, so pressure energy, potential energy, kinetic energy over the rate of flow of liquid, okay, throughout the, okay, area, okay, that will be remains same, constant. So that's why we have to use here, okay, venturimeter, to use, okay, the speed of the incompressible liquid. Is it okay, students? Okay, yes. Yes. So next concept is viscosity. What do you mean by viscosity? So viscous, you already know this word, viscous. So viscosity, it is a one of the property of a fluid, okay, which resist or which opposes the relative motion between the different layers of the liquid. Remember, students, what is this? Viscosity or viscous means what? Viscous or viscosity is nothing but it is a one of the property of any liquid or fluid. What it does actually, it opposes or which resist means opposition, okay, which will resist the relative motion between the different layers. So that is nothing but viscosity. Remember, students, that is called viscosity. Let me to write that, okay, the property of a liquid by virtue of which it tends to resist relative motion between different layers of it is called viscosity. Or I will give you one easy definition, students, just try to understand, okay, easy definition. I will give you one definition. Yes, what is that definition? Let me to write here, okay, or you can write, it is a property, it is a property of a fluid or liquid, you can say, due to which it opposes or resists, you can say, opposes the relative motion between its adjacent means a similar layer, okay, layers of the fluid. Adjacent layer is called, okay, viscosity. Okay, so this is called viscosity. Then one more is there, that is nothing but viscous force. What do you mean by viscous force? Let me to explain here only. Viscous force, what do you mean by viscous force? These are the tangential force. Remember students, these are the tangential force which, okay, decreases the relative motion between the layers, or we can say which will resist. Decreases means here which will resist, okay. When opposition comes, then only what will happens, there will be a decrement in the relative motion between the layers. So that type of force is called viscous force. We can say in this way, the tangential force that tends to decrease the relative motion between the layers of a liquid is called viscous force. Tangential force means you can say in this way. So for example, tangential force, so which are parallel to each other, this type of force are called tangential force. For example, okay, when liquid is there, when a liquid drop will be, okay, placed over the surface of any, okay, any surface or any solid surface, then what will happen, the tangential force will be there between each layer. So different layer, there will be force, okay. The tangential force that tends to decrease the relative motion between the layers, which will decreases the, okay, a relative motion between the layers. So that is nothing but what, viscous force. We will see in detail in my next class, okay. Yes.